Never love you like I can.
A gorgeous girlfriend of mine who is a massive animal rights activist here in the Illawarra, Tracy Griffiths, who's just gorgeous, made me aware of your plight, James, and then we saw you on the Win Network's Today Show, and I thought, we're going to get this guy on the radio. Voiceless365.com is the website for people who want to see this. James Aspey, you didn't speak for 365 days to highlight the atrocities that are happening to animals around the world. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I don't even know where to start. You're incredible. Who doesn't speak for a year?
Yeah.
Buddhist monks do it occasionally, I think.
James, what was the hardest bit?
Actually, it was the end. It was the end that was the hardest because I was just so fed up with it. It was challenging at first to remember to keep the vow of silence going. So I had to kind of put notes everywhere and keep it in my head because it's just so natural to respond to people and to say hello when you walk past people, and you just go to talk all the time.
Yes.
Especially in the mornings when you just wake up and you haven't really thought about it yet. You forget you're on this big mission, and I did slip up a few times at first, a handful of times. But the hardest part was actually getting closer to the end because I learned so much last year.
Oh God, yeah.
I had so much to say by the end of it. And I just had to keep it in. Like I couldn't express it as easily. I could express it, but
James,
took time, it took effort, and towards the end it was really challenging.
I have to ask a really obvious question. I hope you're writing a book about this experience because I imagine, I know a great quote that I've come across now is that in stillness we find the answers. Since I've started meditating, and
Excellent.
I'm an over-talker, an over-sharer. I'm hyperactive. I've got obsessive-compulsive disorder, and I do. I actually do. Marty's normal.
Oh, okay. You actually do, right on.
Yeah, Marty's a crack addict, but that's another story. No, he's not. No, he's not. But I know that in silence the answers come, and I know I'm like that. And when I meditate, my mind goes a million miles an hour, and I start trying to think of all the things I want to write down. Did you just have to? Did you write everything down with with this experience? Because it's pretty incredible.
I did. Well, I wrote a blog to keep everyone updated, and also a big part of why I wrote it was, apart from to educate everyone on what I was learning, was just to express myself. I found that I was having some pretty dark days at first.
Yeah.
I wasn't too sure why that was, and then I realised how much we get from expressing ourselves verbally and talking it out and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it really helped to write a blog and to say everything I needed to say through that, and that way I could still advocate and talk about the issues around the animal cruelty industry kind of thing, and that helped me just feel better and get through it.
Hey, James, how was it? You got here on your blog in July. Your van broke down in the middle of nowhere in Western Australia outback. How did you communicate with someone to get help?
Yeah, what did you do? Did you have Post-it notes everywhere?
Yeah.
I was so lucky because I was actually hanging out with a friend of mine at the time.
Oh.
So, but still, we were just so lucky where we broke down. There was nothing for hundreds of kilometres pretty much. And we broke down just out front of this little Aboriginal community. And they came and tried to help us out. And I don't know if they actually did more harm than good, but they called someone and someone came, and we went to the mechanic, and they said the van's finished. You're just going to have to leave it here. I didn't sell it or anything. I just had to abandon it.
You are an incredible human, and we're not. I'm just going to say we are all, and you are amazing, and we are not going to give justice to what you need to get across in Breakfast Radio, because I have to tell you, I would like to chat to you for an hour. You're a really great inspiration for kids that are listening to our show right now who may be passionate about something. You have stood by what you believe in. You believe in animal rights. You're obviously a vegan,
Absolutely.
a vegetarian, and there is
vegan, definitely.
There's a lot of animal cruelty going on, and I think a lot of people, we stick our heads in the sand. I'm a hypocrite. I eat meat, but I like to make sure that when I eat it, it's organic and I know where it's coming from, but that's not always the case. And I know a lot of people are like me. They're very torn. They want to do the right thing by animals, but we also live in a crazy world where we put our head in the sand because it's just easier. And
you're right.
You have chosen to not put your head in the sand, and you didn't talk for a year. And honestly, you should be up for what Marty got, an OAM, because you've just done something amazing. I couldn't not talk for a day, let alone a year. And you've done it for the plight of the beautiful animal, which we've all got animals in our lives, and we know how much joy and love and unconditional love they give us. And you've spoken about that. I just think what you're doing is awesome.
Well done.
And I hope everyone wants to get on board. Voiceless365, the numbers, voiceless365.com. I hope schools take on board this. I hope teachers take this to their classrooms. I hope parents take this home to their kids, because whether you want to be a vegan or not, just the fact that you've believed in yourself enough to stick by it for a year. Most of us don't stick by stuff for a week, and I think you're a pretty awesome human.
Well, I had a strong motivation to do that, so that's kind of what got me through. Animals really are suffering. We do care about animals. We all say we care about animals. We're against animal cruelty. And the thing is, we're not being consistent with that every time we buy meat, cheese, milk and eggs or any animal products. So I think when people start to realise how much cruelty and harm to animals they're causing by buying those products, I think a big change will happen. And that's what happened to me, and that's what happened to millions of other people who have now gone vegan and living a healthy, happy, amazing life without the cruelty to animals.
I'm honoured to talk to you today, and I'm pretty sure Marty is too. I'm in awe of you.
Yes.
Oh, thanks so much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you both.
There he is, James Aspey, who didn't speak for 365 days. Just try not to speak for an hour or so today and see how
They call it Vipassana, I think. It's a form of meditation of not talking, and I can't imagine a year. Wow.
No, good stuff by James. 13 to 8.